Welcome to my channel Valuable Rare Coins because, as you know, old is gold. Some of the rarest coins worth big money could be hiding in your hands right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch till the end. Let's dive in. First, we're going to take a close and exciting look at the 2021 United States quarter dollar, Crossing the Delaware, a coin that many people see every day and don't realize could actually be a high-value collectible just waiting to be discovered. If you have one of these quarters in your collection or in your change, you'll want to listen closely because this coin is turning heads and turning up at auctions for surprising prices. The 2021 D quarter marked a historic and patriotic return to classic American design. After years of the state quarters and the America the Beautiful series, the U.S. Mint honored a moment that defines American courage and leadership: General George Washington crossing the Delaware River. The bold, striking image of Washington standing strong in the boat, ready to lead his troops, is more than just artwork. It's a symbol of resilience, bravery, and the beginning of something greater. This design revived a sense of traditionalism that collectors absolutely loved. But beyond the beauty of the design, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. While millions were minted in Denver with the D mint mark, not all 2021 D Crossing the Delaware quarters are created equal. Some of them were struck with rare, valuable, and unusual mint errors that have skyrocketed their worth. And as always, it's the rarest combinations, mint errors and top-grade condition, that bring in the big money. And believe it or not, many of these valuable versions are still being found in circulation today. One of the most exciting errors on the 2021 D quarter is the struck-through error, where a foreign object, like a piece of grease, cloth, or even wire, gets between the die and the blank coin during the minting process. This creates odd textures, missing design elements, or unusual marks that set the coin apart instantly. Some of these errors are incredibly dramatic, with entire sections of Washington's coat or the boat appearing faded, ghosted, or warped. Collectors are racing to find these examples and send them off for grading, and demand is only going up. Another highly prized error to look for is the die chip, often referred to by collectors as a drooling Washington error. On some of these coins, a small piece of the die breaks off, leaving a raised blob near Washington's mouth or face. It's quirky, it's eye-catching, and best of all, it's rare, especially when it's large and obvious. These die chip varieties, while technically mint mistakes, have become so popular that collectors actually seek them out and pay premiums for dramatic examples. Even more intriguing is the off-center strike error. While less common in recent years, some 2021 D quarters have been discovered with noticeable off-center alignment. This means part of the design was struck off the edge of the coin, creating a unique visual effect. The more off-center the strike and the more of the date and mint mark that remain visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. These are easy to spot and always a conversation starter in any coin collection. There are also reports of double die reverses, where the details of the boat, water, or the inscriptions on the reverse side appear doubled under magnification. This doubling can be very light or very dramatic, and serious collectors are always on the hunt for strong, crisp examples. If you see shadows or duplicate lines in the words "Crossing the Delaware" or "United States of America," you might be looking at one of the most desirable modern errors. Now, let's talk about what turns a valuable error coin into a truly premium piece: grade and condition. Coins that are still in mint state, especially those rated MS 67 or higher, carry significant collector value. Add a rare error on top of that, and you've got a potential jackpot. Coins preserved in this condition are often discovered in mint rolls or collector bags, and if stored properly, they can maintain their luster and sharp details for decades. When these coins are sent to grading companies like PCGS or NGC and return with a top-tier grade, their value increases exponentially. Collectors and dealers alike are keeping a close eye on the 2021 D Crossing the Delaware quarters in the market. In recent months, coin shows, online auctions, and private sales have all seen a spike in interest surrounding this coin. Its status as a transitional piece, along with its patriotic theme and modern errors, has made it a hot commodity. It's one of the most talked about modern quarters, and many collectors believe its value will only rise over time, especially as more error varieties are discovered and cataloged. In fact, one particularly rare and stunning 2021. Crossing the Delaware Quarter, featuring a bold struck-through grease error on Washington's face, paired with a die chip and graded MS. 68 by PCGS, was recently sold in a high-profile private sale. This coin drew attention from both seasoned collectors and investors, and the final sale price was a true showstopper. That rare quarter sold for $39,000. Yes, you heard that right. 39,000 United States dollars for a coin that may have once been passed as simple change at a store. That's the magic of modern coin collecting. Some of the most valuable coins out there today aren't buried deep in the past. They're right here, right now, hiding in plain sight. You could have one in your wallet, your car's cup holder, or a forgotten roll of quarters in a drawer. And all it takes is one rare error in the right condition to turn that ordinary coin into something truly extraordinary. So, here's what you can do. Check your 2021 quarters closely, especially the ones with the D mint mark for Denver. Look for doubling, die chips, off-center strikes, and struck-through features. If you find anything that stands out, even a small imperfection, consider getting a second opinion from a local coin dealer or sending it off to be graded. Because you never know, you might just be holding your very own hidden treasure. If you found a 2021 Crossing the Delaware Quarter with an unusual mark or think you might have discovered one of these rare errors, tell us about it in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story, answer your questions, and maybe even feature your find in a future video. The collector community grows stronger when we share and learn together. Second rare coin. We're talking about a seemingly common coin with an extraordinary secret, the 1965 United States quarter dollar. This coin might not look like much at first glance, but when you discover the rare variations and minting errors connected to it, you'll see why collectors are going absolutely wild trying to find one. Let's start with a bit of background. Because 1965 wasn't just any year, it was a turning point in U.S. coinage history. After decades of using 90% silver in quarters, the United States Mint made a major change. In response to rising silver prices and a national coin shortage, 1965 marked the very first year that quarters were no longer made with silver. Instead, the Mint began using a copper-nickel clad composition. This shift may seem like just a small adjustment, but it created the perfect storm for rare transitional errors, and that's where things get really exciting. Now, while hundreds of millions of 1965 quarters were produced, only a handful hold true collector value, and these are the ones with minting errors and rare anomalies that slipped through undetected. One of the most legendary varieties is the 1965 silver planchet error. That's right, some 1965 quarters were mistakenly struck on leftover 90% silver blanks from 1964. These coins are often slightly heavier than the standard clad quarter and have a distinctly brighter, more silver-toned appearance. If you happen to come across one of these rare silver planchet errors, you could be looking at a coin worth thousands. To check if your 1965 quarter is struck on silver, try the sound test. Silver coins make a high-pitched ringing noise when dropped, unlike the dull clink of clad coins. You can also weigh it. A clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams, but a silver one weighs closer to 6.25 grams. That small difference could mean a massive difference in value. If your scale confirms a heavier weight and your coin lacks a copper edge, it's time to get that beauty authenticated immediately, but the silver planchet isn't the only rare error to watch for. Another hot ticket error is the double die obverse, where parts of the design, such as "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or even the date, appear doubled. These errors occurred when the dies were improperly aligned, causing the image to be stamped twice in slightly different positions. On a 1965 quarter, this kind of doubling can dramatically increase its value, especially if the coin is in uncirculated or mint state condition. Another favorite among collectors is the off-center strike, where the coin is not properly aligned in the press and ends up with part of the design missing or off the edge. The more dramatic the off-center, the more valuable the coin becomes, particularly if the date and key features are still visible. These are striking to look at, incredibly unique, and highly desirable in today's coin market. Some collectors have also reported broad strike errors, where the coin lacks its usual rim and appears slightly spread out, caused by the collar die not engaging during the strike. Others are hunting for clipped planchet quarters, where a portion of the coin is literally missing due to an error in the blank cutting process. These quirky and unusual varieties are gaining serious attention, and with the 1965 quarter being such a transitional year coin, they're in very high demand. Now let's talk about something that adds serious value to any error coin: grade and condition. A mint error is exciting, but when it's paired with a high grade, the value multiplies. Coins in mint state condition, especially those graded MS 65 and above by respected grading companies like PCGS or NGC, are what collectors dream of. These coins have never been circulated, they shine with original luster, and they have crisp, clean details that make the minting error even more pronounced and collectible. Over the past few years, rare 1965 quarters have been appearing in auctions and private sales, commanding prices that most people would never expect from a coin that's over 5 decades old. Stories of ordinary people finding a rare error quarter in a junk drawer or family coin collection have been circulating in coin forums, and more collectors are jumping into the hunt every day. The beauty of the 1965 quarter is that it's still possible to find one in the wild. You just need to know what to look for. And now, for the jaw-dropping part you've all been waiting for, the value reveal. One remarkable 1965 quarter, struck on a silver planchet and graded in pristine condition, was recently sold through a private dealer network after extensive authentication and grading. This coin had it all: rarity, historical significance, and perfect preservation. And it ended up being sold for a mind-blowing $100,000. That's right, 100,000 United States dollars for a single quarter that most people would have spent without a second thought. This is why coin collecting is such an incredible hobby. Not only are you learning about history and appreciating the art of coin design, but you're also searching for potential treasures that are hiding in plain sight. Every coin has a story, and for some, that story ends with a huge reward. So don't overlook your 1965 quarters. Examine them closely, check for weight, look for errors, and if anything seems out of the ordinary, get it checked. That small piece of metal in your hand could be worth more than your car or even your house. We want to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare 1965 quarter, or do you have one you think might be something special? Let us know in the comments below. Share your discoveries, your questions, or even your dreams of finding one of these rare gems. You might be surprised how many people in this amazing community have stories just like yours. Third expensive coin. We're diving into the fascinating story of a coin that's often hiding in plain sight: the 1974 United States quarter dollar. This little piece of American currency has more to it than most people realize, and in some extremely rare cases, it could be worth a fortune. So grab your coin jar, dust off that old change drawer, and stay tuned, because what you learn today might just lead you to a life-changing discovery. The 1974 quarter comes from an era of transition in American coinage. While it was made just before the country's bicentennial celebrations in 1976, the 1974 quarter is often overlooked by collectors until they realize how rare certain versions truly are. It was struck during a time when the U.S. Mint was producing hundreds of millions of coins per year, but even with that massive output, rare minting mistakes and unique variations still managed to slip through the cracks, and that's where the real value lies. One of the most talked about and sought-after errors found on the 1974 quarter is the double die obverse. This error occurs when the coin die strikes the blank planchet twice, slightly off from the first strike, causing noticeable doubling in the text and sometimes in the date or Liberty's profile. If you look closely at the words Liberty or In God We Trust, you may notice a shadow-like duplication, especially with the help of a magnifying glass. That's a clear indicator of a double die, and collectors are paying big premiums for these examples in top condition. Another incredible rarity that's been spotted in the 1974 quarter series is the off-center strike. These quarters are misaligned during the minting process, causing the design to shift significantly. The more off-center the image, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes, especially if the full date and mint mark are still visible. Coins with 10% to 50% off-center strikes are among the most exciting to find, and they tend to attract a lot of attention from collectors and error coin specialists. There are also reports of wrong planchet errors from 1974 quarters. That means the coin was accidentally struck on a blank meant for a different denomination, such as a nickel or penny, or even on foreign coin stock. These quarters may appear smaller or lighter than usual, or they may even have a strange coloration or texture. If your 1974 quarter feels off, looks off, or weighs less than the standard 5.67 grams, it's time to take a closer look. It might be an incredibly rare mistake that slipped past the mint's quality control. Let's not forget the classic and highly collectible clipped planchet error. This happens when a portion of the coin is missing due to a mechanical error when the blank was being cut. The result is a distinctive crescent-shaped missing area on the coin's edge. These errors are instantly eye-catching and considered highly desirable by collectors, especially when they come from iconic years like 1974. Combined with a mint state grade, these coins can command serious money at auctions. Now, speaking of condition, this cannot be overstated. Grade plays a massive role in a coin's value. A coin that has a rare error is one thing, but when that same coin is in mint state condition, with no wear and full original luster, that's when values truly skyrocket. Coins that have been professionally graded MS 65 or higher by PCGS or NGC become hot commodities in the collector's market. The sharpness of the strike, the brightness of the metal, and the absence of scratches all matter when you're dealing with top-dollar coins. In recent years, collectors have been paying closer attention to 1970s coinage in general, and the 1974 quarter is gaining serious traction. At national coin shows and major online auctions, several 1974 quarters with rare minting errors and high grades have gone for astonishing amounts. One in particular, a beautifully preserved 1974 quarter with a dramatic off-center strike and certified in mint state condition, was sold to a private collector, sparking a buzz in the coin community and reigniting the hunt for more hidden gems from this year. And here's where it all comes together. The most exciting part of this story. A spectacular 1974 quarter, struck with a rare combination of double die and off-center strike, graded at a stunning MS 67 by PCGS. Recently made headlines when it sold in a high-profile auction for an absolutely mind-blowing $65,000. That's right, 65,000 United States dollars for a quarter that could have once sat unnoticed in a pocket or change purse. This is exactly why coin collecting is such an exhilarating and rewarding journey. It's not just about the coins themselves, but the stories, the thrill of the hunt, and the possibility that something incredibly valuable could be hiding in the most ordinary place. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who enjoys checking their change, the 1974 quarter proves that the next great find might be right in front of you. So here's your mission. Go check your quarters. Look closely at the 1974 ones. Examine the details, weigh them if you can, and look for anything unusual. If you see doubling, off-center designs, clipped edges, or strange colors, don't ignore it. Take a photo, do some research, and if you think it might be special, reach out to a grading service or your local coin dealer for a professional opinion. You might just be holding onto your own small fortune without even knowing it. If you've come across a 1974 quarter with a possible error, or you have questions about your coin collection, drop a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. Share your discoveries, ask your questions, and connect with other passionate collectors who are just as excited about coins as you are. This channel is all about community, discovery, and helping each other uncover the hidden treasures of numismatics. Especially, we're going to explore a seemingly ordinary coin, the 1997 United States quarter dollar, and reveal the secrets that could make this coin worth more than you ever imagined. Stick with us, because what you'll discover today might just change the way you look at pocket change forever. The 1997 quarter was minted at the Philadelphia Mint and is part of the Washington Quarter series, featuring the iconic image of George Washington on the obverse and the traditional eagle design on the reverse. By the late 1990s, the U.S. Mint was producing quarters in the hundreds of millions, but even with that massive production, rare and valuable coins still managed to make their way into circulation, and that's where the magic begins. While most 1997 P quarters are worth face value, a small number of these coins were struck with unique mint errors that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. These aren't just any errors. They're the kind of once-in-a-million mistakes that slip past quality control and end up in people's change, only to be discovered years later by eagle-eyed collectors. And the demand for these rare finds continues to grow with every passing year. One of the most coveted errors in the 1997 P quarter series is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin isn't properly aligned during the striking process, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted dramatically. The more off-center the strike and the more of the date and mint mark that remain visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. Collectors love these coins because no two are exactly the same, making each one a one-of-a-kind piece of minting history. Another highly desirable error is the double die obverse, where certain elements on the front of the coin appear to be slightly duplicated or shadowed due to a misalignment during the hubbing process. Look closely at Liberty or In God We Trust. If you notice doubled lettering or unusual thickness, you might be holding a true treasure. Coins with strong, visible doubling can command huge prices on the collector market, especially in higher grades. Let's not forget about the die break and die chip errors, which are also found on some 1997 P quarters. These occur when the minting die begins to crack or chip, leaving behind raised bumps or lines on the coin's surface. These die breaks are sometimes found around Washington's face or the eagle's wings, and depending on the size and location, they can be extremely collectible. Certain die chips have even been given fun nicknames by the collector community, like Spitting Eagle or Crown Break, making them even more appealing. Another rare and fascinating error is when a coin is struck on the wrong planchet, meaning it was accidentally struck on a blank meant for another denomination, like a nickel or a foreign coin. These are usually smaller in size or lighter in weight, and they look off compared to a normal quarter. If your 1997 P quarter looks unusual in color, weight, or texture, don't ignore it. It could be a rare wrong planchet error worth a small fortune. And here's where things get really interesting. Condition is everything when it comes to coin value. A rare error coin is great, but when that same coin is in mint state condition, free of scratches and wear, the value can skyrocket. Coins that have never been circulated and retain their original shine and details are considered top tier by collectors. When a rare error meets perfect preservation, that's when serious money comes into play. In recent years, there has been a major surge of interest in modern error coins, and the 1997 P quarter has been making appearances in online auctions and private sales for impressive prices. Collectors are starting to realize that these modern mint mistakes are not only historically significant, they're also extremely profitable. Just like the famous 1999 P Delaware Spitting Horse Quarter or the 1982 No Mint Mark Dime, the 1997 P quarter is now part of a growing movement in modern coin collecting. In fact, one extraordinary example of a 1997 P quarter featuring a dramatic off-center strike and a visible double die obverse, graded at MS 66 by PCGS, recently made headlines when it was sold in a private auction. This coin had all the right ingredients: a rare combination of errors, a stunning mint state grade, and the backing of a top-tier grading service. The final selling price shocked even experienced collectors, proving once again that modern quarters should never be underestimated. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the incredible value reveal. That extraordinary 1997 P quarter, with its rare error and pristine condition, ended up being sold for a jaw-dropping $35,000. Yes, you heard that right. 35,000 United States dollars for a single quarter that may have once been sitting unnoticed in someone's change jar. This is why coin collecting is more than just a hobby. It's a treasure hunt, a history lesson, and a potential payday all wrapped into one. The 1997 P quarter proves that valuable coins don't have to be ancient or made of silver. They can be modern, circulating coins hiding in plain sight. So take a closer look at your change. You never know what kind of hidden wealth you might be carrying around without even realizing it. If you've come across a 1997 P quarter with unusual markings or think you might have found a rare error, drop a comment below and share your story. The coin community is always excited to hear about new discoveries, and who knows, your find could be the next headline-worthy coin to hit the auction block. Last unique coin. We're diving deep into a truly fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the 1967 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, it might seem like just another quarter, but trust me, this coin holds secrets that make it incredibly special and highly sought after by collectors worldwide. If you love discovering hidden gems in your coin collection, then you absolutely have to listen carefully, because this 1967 quarter has rare features and errors that could make it worth a small fortune. The 1967 quarter belongs to a unique era in U.S. coinage. It was minted during a time when the nation was transitioning from silver to clad coins, and though it looks familiar, the composition and minting techniques used in 1967 make this quarter stand out. While most coins from this year are relatively common, certain 1967 quarters with distinct minting anomalies or in impeccable condition have captured the attention of collectors everywhere. These coins are not just pieces of currency, they are time capsules that tell a story about a transformative period in American history. Now, here's where things get exciting. The 1967 quarter has several known mint errors that are incredibly valuable. Among the most prized are the off-center strikes, where the coin's design is noticeably shifted, sometimes leaving large blank areas. These off-center errors aren't just fascinating to look at, they're rare and can exponentially increase the value of the coin. To spot these errors, you'll want to carefully examine the alignment of the design with the edge of the coin. If the details look misaligned or cut off, you might be looking at a significant collector's piece. Another sought-after error found on some 1967 quarters is the double die variety. This happens when the coin is struck more than once, causing a shadow or doubling effect on certain letters or numbers. Focus your attention on the words Liberty or In God We Trust if you notice a bold, doubled appearance. Congratulations! You might have one of the rare double die quarters that are incredibly popular among collectors due to their unique visual appeal and scarcity. Beyond errors, condition is king when it comes to value. A 1967 quarter in flawless, uncirculated condition, showing no wear, scratches, or blemishes, can fetch top dollar. These coins preserve every tiny detail from the mint, allowing collectors to enjoy the coin exactly as it was first struck decades ago. If your coin has deep luster and sharp details, it's already ahead of the game in terms of desirability and value. To give you a clearer picture, recent sales and auctions have shown a booming demand for these rare 1967 quarters. Some examples with significant mint errors or exceptional grading have sold at major auction houses for prices that turn heads. These sales highlight just how hot this coin has become in the numismatic market. Collectors from around the globe are competing to own these rare pieces, driving prices higher and higher. This growing interest proves that the 1967 quarter is more than just pocket change. It's a high-demand collectible that continues to appreciate in value. Collectors who have dug through their collections and stumbled upon a 1967 quarter with off-center strikes or double die errors have been stunned by the offers they receive. Many are now realizing that these everyday quarters are hiding incredible value, waiting to be discovered by those who know where and how to look. Remember, properly identifying these errors requires a careful eye, a good magnifying glass, and sometimes expert grading, but the payoff can be enormous. So, if you have a 1967 quarter, take a close look. Examine the edges, inspect the inscriptions, and check for any unusual marks or shifts in the design. If you think you might have a rare error or a coin in top condition, don't hesitate to get it appraised by a professional grader. Knowing the exact grade and authenticity of your coin can open doors to serious buyers and collectors who are eager to add such a gem to their collections. In conclusion, the 1967 United States quarter dollar isn't just a coin from the past. It's a shining example of how history, craftsmanship, and chance errors combine to create incredible collector's items. Its rarity, The thrill of finding mint errors and the increasing demand among collectors make this coin a treasure worth chasing. If you found one of these or have questions about coins like this, we'd love to hear your stories and help you on your collecting journey, so drop a comment below. And now, for the moment that could change your life. Certain pristine, error-filled 1967 quarters have been known to sell for an astonishing $95,000. Yes, that's right, 95,000 United States dollars for a single quarter that might just be sitting unnoticed in your collection. This coin's combination of rarity, error, and condition makes it one of the crown jewels of American coin collecting today. Thank you so much for watching and being part of this amazing coin community. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all our future coin discoveries and expert insights. Until next time, keep hunting for those rare coins and happy collecting.